What are you serving tonight? Subscriptions. Come on. Take a peek. Take a poke. Take a click. I don't know. What's that you said? Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Who is she? Hello everybody and welcome back to another installation of And She Rants. My name is Olamide and today's topic is lesson learned. Thought I was burned, but I call it a lesson learned, handed on a platter. It's the end of the year, and if you're anything like me, you're doing your reflection time. And while there is still time at the end of the year to get things done, I'm looking at my journal from January 1st, and honestly, I'm laughing at myself. I said I want to do this. I said I want to do that. I said I stopped doing this. I said I'd stop doing that. All of the things I didn't do or did do. All of the mistakes I made. And sometimes towards the end of the year, as we're doing our reflections, we may think to ourselves, what did I even get done this year? What did I even accomplish? Why didn't I do the things I said I was going to do? I'm looking at my empty check marks next to my agenda for 2018. Why is it empty? Why are these still the same goals I have in December? I'm confused. And one of the major things I said to myself that I wanted to do this year is I wanted to have something tangible. I wanted to come out of 2018 and say, I made something. I built something. I started something. I created something. And you know, the jury's still out. Okay, I got a few days to the end of the year to figure out if I did that. But I realized in my reflection time that sometimes we're so focused on having something tangible that we say we didn't do anything this year, when really the lessons we learn are just as valuable to us. The lessons we learn are just as large as accomplishments we may have made if we went that route. So today I kind of want to talk about the lessons I learned. I want to talk through whether it's from mistakes that I made, whether it's from accomplishments I actually did achieve, whether it's from wins, losses, whether it's from other friends' experiences, whatever it was. Today I want to talk about the things I learned about myself, about my relationship with God, about my relationship to other people that really changed me this year. Like, they're transformational learnings. They're not just like, I learned how to write. I remember in 2016, one of the things I did, it was huge. It was like I learned how to code. But like, something that's bigger than that is like the things that change you from the inside out, the things that will affect the way you interact with people. Like, those are the kinds of lessons I learned this year. So today, I'm just gonna talk to you about 5 lessons I learned this year, and I hope it ministers to you. The first lesson that I learned this year is that someone liking you does not authorize them or give them access to your time. Someone simply liking you does not authorize them or give them access to your time. Oh, people, please, are you out there? Hi, hello. If that's you, something that you'll realize is that you can make the mistake of thinking that someone's desire to spend time with you and someone's interest in you authorizes them to your time, or even authorizes them to your skill set, authorizes them to any kind of access to you that is not simply met by you liking me. Of course you like me. That's my gift. That's what God gave to me. That's who I'm supposed to be. Why wouldn't you like me? So why am I sitting here lapping up all of the likes, literally loving up on the likes that you're giving me, and sacrificing my time, my energy, letting you drain me for skills, talent, time, energy, thoughts for you, when really I should be investing that skill into myself or into other people that I'm called to minister to. There's a level of spiritual discernment that you need to get yourself to. The way that you handle that confusion of who do I give my time to? People are saying they like me, they're interested. People are showing interest in my talent. People are showing interest in my gifts. People are showing interest in me. How do I discern who I spend time with? How do I decide? And you have to seek that spiritual level of discernment of this is who I'm supposed to be right now. This is where I'm supposed to be spending my time right now. This is the person that God called me to minister to. This is the person that I have a call towards. This is the person that's connected to my destiny and my purpose. And if you don't get that spiritual discernment, you will find yourself confusing man's validation with God's instruction. Oh, that's what we call a waste of time. A waste of time. And as we know, life is short. There's not much time you have towards fulfilling that purpose that you have. It's like God's timing is the right timing, but don't waste the time that you've been given feeding your ego and maybe even your insecurity of people telling you, I like you, when their like isn't probably even genuine. When their like is actually, I like what you have to offer, not I like who you are. If you liked who I am, you wouldn't get in the way of me doing that. Okay, so that's the first lesson I learned. The second lesson I learned this year is that relationships can heal. Relationships can heal. Ooh, that one was a doozy. I had a video recently where I talked about offense, right? The world's way is, oh, nuck if you buck, you ain't about to start nothing with me. Oh, no, you talk to me sideways, that's it. You cut off. I can forgive, but I do not forget. And in that space of not forgetting, we forfeit our ability to change people's lives. This is why I say that. God is funny, okay? So God will literally use you. Somebody hurts you. You heal from it. And God will use you to change that person's life. And you're kind of like, oh, the audacity. I want to help them. I don't want to hurt them, but I want to help them. I'm not going to go out of my way to help this person who hurt me. But the thing about God is that sometimes he literally uses you to heal the person who hurt you. Your response and how you treat someone who hurt you can heal them. Can heal them and change the entire trajectory of their lives and yours. Can change the whole trajectory of their lives and maybe even yours, because that healing in your heart allows you to let what God wants to do be greater than your desire to clap back, to let people know you don't mess with me. And this year I learned that lesson. I learned that God can change the dynamic of a relationship. Relationships can change. They can heal. Someone can hurt you and you can heal from it, and you can change the demeanor with which you interact with them. I feel like we think from our own perspective that healing and getting over something or someone or whatever happened between y'all is simply like, I'm never gonna see you again, and I'm never gonna speak to you again. And I have to be comfortable knowing I'll never speak to them again. And I have to be comfortable completely letting them go. And while that is one of the steps, that's not always the final step. You may turn around, I completely let them go. You may turn around and God's using you to be the one to free them from whatever hurt or thing, that situation they've been going through. Now let's clarify some things for the folks who might get confused right now. We're not telling you to go and beg for your ex-man back and tell him God told me that I'm gonna be used to change your life. That's not what this is about. This is literally like, you can take a plain relationship between two people and realize that you don't have to harbor hatred towards them. I realize that sometimes I can be married to the negative perception I have about someone. And I'd rather hold on to that than let them change. Then let them change and be a different person in my eyes, because I'm so worried about being played again. And largely that's because I don't trust myself to be able to stand up for myself in those moments. So you have to pray over that. You have to say, I want to arrest that thing. I want to be able to trust myself again. And when you get into the space of where you trust yourself again, then you can allow yourself to watch relationships heal and change, to watch people have a different role in your life, to change someone's position from being a villain to being a friend. You know, I've got friends back. I've changed dynamics with, people at work. Like things, God literally changed relationships in my life and told me, oh, you think I'm not big enough that I can heal relationships? You just think I can end relationships. You just think I can remove you from toxicity. No. I can take the toxicity out and transform that whole thing into good, for your good and for their good. The third lesson that I learned this year is that a non-committed yes is still a no. A non-committed yes is still a no. Okay? The difference between a non-committed yes and a no is the damage you do along the way. And the damage that's done is primarily done to you. It's primarily done to you. It affects your word. your word's not true. It affects your mood. It affects your ability to produce good work. Like, whenever I say yes to something that I mean to say no to, there are all these consequences that come out of it. And yes, the other person may be annoyed with me, and yes, that may affect our dynamic, but really, I'm the one who suffers at the end of the day. At the end of the day, to this day, every non-committed yes I've had, I've regret. And that stayed consistent. I have a friend, Ayana Miller. I'll at her Instagram over here. I was speaking with her this weekend. We went to a brunch with a couple of girls, and she said the thing that she does in order to make sure she doesn't commit to things she doesn't want to do is she asks herself, would I want to do this tomorrow? If this was happening literally tomorrow, would I attend? And that helps her weed out whether or not she actually wants to do something. Sometimes we want to be able to commit to things for people. And a lot of the time, my non-committed yes is to things I know I should not do, but other people want from me. Other people want me to go to this event. Other people want me to go out. Other people want me to produce this thing for them. But I have no interest. And while you think like, oh, I'm doing favors and like that's how we should be, you end up doing everybody a disservice because your anger, your bitterness, all that attitude, all that time you take to get it done, you done messed up a whole relationship and made yourself stressed out. Instead of you to say a non-committed yes, instead of you to stress yourself with something you already know you don't want to do, just say no. Simple. Just say no. The fourth thing that I've learned, and I'm going to keep this brief because I've talked about it before, is that your ideas will not wait for you. They won't wait for you. Literally, your ideas basically singing to you, I don't wanna wait for you to be ready. I was in church recently and a preacher was speaking about this exact idea, that your ideas aren't gonna wait for you. Who told you that? There are a lot of people who lied to me and said that my idea will be waiting around forever, want to talk to them, want to kind of throw hands, but that's fine. But one of the things he said that stuck with me, I mean, it was a dagger inside of me, was he said, God gave you an idea that was supposed to be a revolutionary idea through you. And instead of being a revolutionary idea, you waited. So now it will take twice the effort to get half the results in a saturated market. Twice the effort, half the results, because you didn't do what you were told to do when you were told to do it. You didn't do what you were told to do when you were told to do it. Look at that consequence. I don't want that in my life. I mean, that hit me in my chest. I said, wow, I literally see that. I've literally seen that happening around me. Things that I thought of that. I wanted to do that. I wanted to do this. Now, the market is saturated, and I'm questioning, oh God, should I even do it? Don't wait, because if it's something the world needs, it will happen with or without you, period. Because guess what? The idea didn't come from you. It came from God. And the fifth thing I learned taking a book from Amanda Seales is that I'm not for everybody. I'm not for everybody, and I don't care. Take a page out of Amanda Seales' book really quickly if you want to do yourself some favors, and realize that you're not for everybody. That's the biggest lesson I think I learned in my adulthood. 2016 was like one of the hardest years of my life. I learned a lot about myself that was negative, that I didn't like. I learned a lot of things and habits and behaviors I had that I didn't like, that weren't healthy, that weren't productive. In 2017, I spent that whole year learning to like myself. Kind of weird. I can be kind of funny sometimes. I enjoy doing like certain kinds of activities. I enjoy staying at home, being curled up by the fireplace. I like reading. I like watching Disney movies. That year was really about getting to know myself. And the next year has really become this year of accepting myself. So what I realized is that liking yourself is kind of like acknowledging who you are. Liking yourself is acknowledging who you are. But loving yourself is accepting that person, is accepting who you are. It's not just saying, I'm weird. It's being like, I'm weird and I love it. It's like saying, I watch Disney Channel movies and I love it. Fight me if you want to. Part of accepting who you are is being confident that the only acceptance that you need is from you and is not from other people. And when I say I'm not for everybody, that's what that means. That's what that realization is that some of the things that you say that speak to one person irritate someone else. Some of the things about your personality that some people love, some people hate. I was speaking to my roommate recently about how I know that there's like a specific group of people, like, or type of person that doesn't like me because they typically end up saying things like, is she always like this? Or like, does she always have this much energy? Is she always like on one? How do you live with her? Like, how do you deal with that? Like, there's like parts of my personality that put people off. But at the end of the day, that doesn't matter. I used to want to fight about that. I used to want to be like, well, why? What's your problem? And what's your issue? And da-da-da-da. And now I'm just like, it's just who I am. If like it or don't like it, clearly you don't. And that's fine. You have a choice. The door. You do not have to watch my YouTube videos. You do not have to come to my page. You don't have to interact with me on social media. And it's not my responsibility to say to them, to try to explain why they should like me or try to talk to them about why they don't. And the funny thing is that most of the people who don't like you will stay. They will literally stay to watch you succeed and get angry about it all along the way. Oprah Jeff. I can't help you. I can't help you. And the best thing about realizing is that you're not for everybody, and some of the people that you're not for are actually the exact people who will be changed by what you do. The thing about people not liking you is that, like, if you try to change to be likable by someone, you will spend time trying to change who you are, trying to change your personality for them to like you, but you realize they don't even like you. They like who you're pretending to be. Then you're yourself. They don't like you. Hey, you don't like me anyway. You don't like me as me. You don't like me as not me. It doesn't matter. So I might as well be me along the way. Me being me. Me saying yes. Me acknowledging and then accepting myself changed this person who I was not for. So you might as well just be who you are and being consistent in that, and just watch and see how you change it. You're not gonna change everybody though. And for those people I say, I care not. Please do yourself a favor, because you can stay and watch me contribute to my likes and contribute to my views. I just don't understand why you're mad. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching my video. What are the biggest things that you learned about yourself, about how you interact with people this year? What are some of the biggest things that you learned? Go ahead and click on that subscribe button. Go ahead. Serving subscriptions online. You can follow me on social media at @AndSheCodes. That's at @AndSheCodes on Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. Gangstalicious, mine's too vicious. Eat MCs all day, delicious. My name is Olamide, and I'll see you next time for the next rant.